There are Easter traditions, aren't there? I mean, there has been for thousands of years, obviously, but there's also Easter traditions that we all have. Here, we have a couple of newer traditions, I hope, because like traditions are only good if you keep doing them because they're meaningful, right? Not just because you keep doing, okay. One is Oh Happy Day. We introduced that song, well, it was before COVID, so at least it would be like 8 years ago or so. We introduced that song, and we're going to get it one year. We'll get it. We'll get there. But think about it. Think about it, though. When you're establishing traditions, how many years do you think it took for us to learn how to sing Jesus Christ is Risen Today? Like centuries. We're going to sing it at the end, don't worry, it'll be there. But also, the last few years, the idea of children telling the Easter story. This has become kind of a thing of these videos. If you go on YouTube, you'll find there's tons of them, of these videos of children telling the Easter story. And I think this is a really great thing. First of all, because they do it with such authenticity and realism and enthusiasm. It's not like somebody standing at the front intoning the story in that solemn way that we do that has so little emotion in it, you've fallen asleep halfway through. How will you know the story if you can't stay awake long enough to find it interesting? And they tell it with such realism is the thing. And that's so important because it's supposed to be real. It's not just supposed to be a story. Which kind of begs the question at Easter, how is the story real for you? What does it mean? What's the Easter story mean for you? There are religious answers. It's not a test. You won't be graded on the theological correctness of your answer. There are obviously very religious answers to that. Personally, for me, I think Easter is the exclamation point in Jesus' life. It's the moment where so many people did not believe. The first women who went to the tomb didn't believe it at first. When they told the disciples that Jesus was alive and the tomb was empty, they didn't believe either. Thomas famously didn't believe. We're going to talk about Thomas next week because that's a great story about how the other disciples pranked him, and it's Holy Humor Sunday next week. You'll have to come and find out what I mean by that, obviously. But the thing is, Easter is that moment where Jesus gets to say, I told you, this is what I can do. And what I can do is show you in my life how the Spirit is alive in you, how God is alive in you. If you didn't believe me before, surely you can believe me now. That's how powerful God is. That's how God is in you. Jesus is alive because Jesus is alive in all of us. Now, there's different ways that we might interpret that too, because, after all, it's spring. We have different traditions around Easter. If you're not somebody who necessarily goes to church on Easter, and I see there are a few, then Easter might mean something different. It might mean family time. It might mean a particular thing that you do. It might mean turkey. It might mean chocolate and bunnies. It might mean all sorts of different things. It might mean spring. It might mean an opportunity to go outside in the sun. I'm going to be optimistic that the sun is shining right now. It was earlier, briefly. And again, that's a great thing about the story, though. The story can mean that too. Because here's another way that I see the story. The seed has been planted. That was the life of Jesus. This isn't the moment the seed is planted. It's already been planted by Jesus in all those stories that we hear the rest of the year. All those ways in which Jesus tries to show us God is alive in us. Easter is the moment where the sun comes out. There's a little rain, the sun comes out, and the first sprouts of that start to happen. Mary seeing Jesus for the first time. The disciples coming to understand what it means for Jesus to be alive. Not just because they can touch him, but because they can see that all the things that Jesus has been teaching is alive in us. They're the first buds of spring, if you like. Those first little sprouts that come up from the ground. They'll get snowed on, they'll get a little bit of frost. There'll be moments where they'll be trampled underfoot, but they keep coming back because Jesus is alive. Jesus is that force of life that is in all of us. And so today, we're going to celebrate communion, as we do. And after you've received communion, you'll come to the front and receive communion. You might have noticed that there are little green things sprouting on either side of the stage here at the front. Please take one with you. There should be enough, at least for every home, and probably every home and every kid who's here today. There should be enough. I'm just going to warn you in advance, though. They're vegetables. One side is tomatoes and the other side is peppers, and I can't remember which is which. So you're on your own. And those were chosen quite specifically. Not the actual vegetable, but the idea of it being something that grows, that you can nurture, that will produce fruit or vegetable. Something that will continue to grow and continue to produce something that feeds you, because that's what Easter is. It's something that feeds us, knowing that Jesus is alive in us, that the Spirit of life, alive in these beautiful little sprouts of things, is alive in all of us.